Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and children of all ages, we here for episode 42 of Weebs of the Ring podcast. We're here to discuss Monday night coverage of July 1st. It's the third quarter of the year. We're entering the second half of the year. We're about to finish of 2024. We're already close for Raw on Netflix. The more they promote it, is the more that gets like, holy shit. Cable network is gonna finally stop cutting off our sound, our audio, our visual, cause SmackDown was horrible for y'all, right? Was it? Cause damn, it wasn't for me. I was having a blast of a time watching front row seats, and well, not front row, but good enough seats at the stadium itself. So it's glad to be back, cause we're here to discuss Raw. What happened? We have the finishing of the Money in the Bank qualifier matches of the men's and the women's. We have the end of them, and we have Judgement and stuff. Maybe teases of Rhea Ripley coming back. Seth Rollins and Damian Priest tell them what's up. The two Mysterios fights one-on-one and have a rematch. And the Big Daddy, Rey Mysterio, still on top. He has 3 wins over his son. I feel bad for my boy, but you know what? Kofi Kingston versus Karrion Kross, that happened. I was very disappointed. But hey, we had Sami Zayn versus leading up to our boy Bronson. I was about to say Bronson Reed, wrong one. Braun Breaker, guys. I'm excited for this. I have thoughts. I have theories. It's gonna be a fun type of discussion for tonight. So without further ado, with all the stuff out of the way, let's get to the show.
Oh, I was waiting for the finger poke of doom to start talking. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and ignorant children of the Isles, welcome, of course, to the Weebs of the Ring podcast. If you are a returning person in the chat, I see a couple of you guys in there. I see Vash's fan. He's happy you're back, Vash. He got to see you the other night, too, so that was fun. And, of course, Oblivion, you were in here earlier, but yeah, I think Vash is becoming a bit of a shrimp for Rey Mysterio. What do you think, Vash? Are you loving Rey? Are you loving Rey?
So guys, I'm the visionary legendary Vash. As you all know, if you saw me in the stadium or in the future, don't be shy. Say hi to me. I don't bite. Hey, you saw me having a sign called Weebs of the Ring and you're going to take a picture. It's okay to come up and introduce yourself, have a conversation. I was out with the lady. It's okay. She was also excited, like, hey, babe, that might be a fan. I'm like, that's awesome. I'd love to see it. But a fan can't be shy, though, because, I would love to have a conversation. It was great to just organically meet up in the stadium of SmackDown and just watching our boy Paul Heyman get thrown over a table and just hear the whole stadium saying fuck you Solo the whole damn time. It was hilarious. It was a fun one.
I bet it was. But also, to the top left of myself, there is none other than the one, the only Drop This Box. Drop, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing pretty good.
Good. Have you guys been having a good weekend? I know we heard Vash having, a good weekend with his lady over in SmackDown. Drop, how was your weekend?
I had a pretty good time. I went to my girlfriend's sister's grad party. So that's what I did on Saturday.
Well, hey, congratulations on her graduation.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, hey, you know what? That's all for, some of you returning people and all that, but for any of you newcomers out there, first of all, welcome, and you just heard us. I'm Whawkins, of course, your world champion. You heard from Legendary Vash, you heard from Drop This Box, but who exactly are we? Well, with anime in our souls and thoughts of wrestling out of control, we are a trio of weebs who love the entertainment of professional wrestling. So, allow us to be the voices inside of your head as we go through the wrestling event of the evening, give our thoughts and predictions on what's to come, and provide an experience inclusive to all nerds. So, grab your steel chair and yell for the table and get put through an experience like none other. We are brought to you by Animal We Studio. And again, this is the Weebs of the Ring podcast. And we got done with a Monday Night Raw that was... It was all right. It was all right. It's, some pretty good stuff. Some stuff that was just like, it happened. You heard Vash's Stampede earlier, so you kind of might have a feeling of what those all right things were. But man, we got some stuff to dive into as well. But let's kind of start with our headline stories. We had 2 Money in the Bank qualifying matches tonight. We had our main event with the men's. We had our women's match, earlier in the night and all that. But let's start with our main event. We finally have the Money in the Bank ladder match, the men's side, finally decided. We had a triple threat match, Drew McIntyre versus Sheamus versus Iija Dragunov, and this was just as hard hitting as everyone thought it was going to be. It's sad my boy Iija didn't win, but he looked amazing in this match. So.
Oh, he looked amazing. He looked great. Like, he was hitting 3 H-bombs, I believe, during this match, and it was fantastic just to see him go toe-to-toe with Sheamus. I bet you by the end of the night, our boy Sheamus was like, damn, this boy could hit. Whew. It's like, you must question yourself, like, who hits now stronger, like Gunther or it's just Dragunov? It's like, damn, Sheamus, who do you want to go back in the ring with now?
Yeah. Oh, man. I like it, too, like, because earlier, like, throughout the night, we've been getting, like, these video packages and all that of all 3 competitors for this match, and I like in Sheamus's one, he kind of uses that as like a time to reflect on his career, because hey, he just celebrated 15 years in the WWE, so mazel tov to you. But he compared himself, or he compared Iija Dragunov to like a younger Sheamus. And Drop, did you see any of that tonight with Iija Dragunov when he was facing off against these 2?
Oh yeah, definitely, because if you look at how Sheamus was when he first started off his career, he was just like that. He was all over the place. He was hitting as much people as he possibly could. So I can definitely see where he's coming from with that comparison.
Oh yeah. But yeah, so this match was, again, it was pretty dang good. I mean, we could go blow for it, but I mean, yeah, you guys should go and watch it. Like, oof. Ooh,
it was really good to see what you say. Oh, so by the way, big shout out to Sheamus. He came in inside a Cybertruck as well. I don't know if anyone,
he did.
If anyone saw the spot, but he came in a Cybertruck. I didn't expect it. He came out in the most pure excitement, like, hello, fella, we're gonna fight it. Let's go. And then, like, he came out of the Cybertruck, who he himself is such a big dude, and the Cybertruck is such a clanky tank type of thing. And to see him come out of it, he looked so small, and just to come out with such hypeness. And I knew he was gonna lose. I'm like, it might not be you, my guy. If it's not Drew, it's gonna be Iija. So just to see you, Sheamus, I love to see this for you, and congrats to him on his 15th anniversary. Do I see a young version of Sheamus in the Dragunov? I could see it. The intensity and the ring awareness of what Sheamus had back then, I felt like I could see it. The resemblance of the wrestler style.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I can see it too. Maybe, I don't know if it was just me, but Corey Graves tonight he was on some stuff, because like he had some good lines. Like, for example, just in this match alone, he described Iija Dragunov's offense as like an artistic madness, and I'm like, oh, that's just a beautiful way of putting that, because it's like, obviously he's known as the Mad Dragon and all that stuff, but it's like his offense is just so crazy. Like, he's almost like a kamikaze in a way, where like everything he does, he puts like 150% of himself into, but he's still somewhat controlled. It's a weird way of saying that, like, he's got all this chaotic energy, but he knows how to focus it in a point. Does that make sense to you guys? I don't know if it does. Maybe I'm talking BS here.
Drum, do you have any thoughts about this?
Say that again. I was trying to reread something on the on our notes.
Oh no, on like it's towards what Walk was talking about. Like, I see the vision of what you're saying, Whawkins, about the similarity, and I agree with it overall.
Yeah.
Oh, I gave my
Basically,
thoughts on that earlier.
yeah. Well, it was mainly about like Corey Graves, how he described Ilya's offense as like an artistic madness.
Well, I mean, the thing about like Iija Dragunov, because I've been watching him a lot in NXT. Like, I didn't see him when he was in the NXT UK, but I do know what he did there. But based on what I've seen from NXT, you know, he's not wrong about that. He has a very unique style when it comes to wrestling. That's why I said before on the show that him and Gunther are very similar to one another, because he's pretty much just another Gunther. They both hit hard. They both can put on great matches. And if you get in the ring of either of them, just despite Ilya's size, he could throw you around like a ragdoll, regardless how big you are. Like, if you put him in the ring against Braun Strowman, or you put him in the ring against somebody like Omos or whoever,
damn, that'd be crazy.
Ring guys, he probably, I would say with like Braun Strowman, not so sure about Omos, but putting him against like people who are bigger than him, that's when he thrives the most, which I noticed in a lot of his matches. Not saying he can't put on good matches with people around his size, but when he's up against people bigger than him, that's where he really shines, because that's when he's allowed to show all of his strengths that people could probably get caught off guard, because they probably didn't expect somebody like him to actually pull off stunts like that.
Yeah. And I mean, that we got all of that tonight. Like, he's a smaller, like, I kind of pictured him as like this little tiny cat trying to get in the way of like these two big dogs trying to like fight and wrestle. Like, I mean, they're playing obviously, but like these two big dogs just trying to fight and wrestle, and like this cat just trying to like get in there and like scratch him. But it's like, yeah, the cat's a little smaller, but like that cat is actually a tiger. And like, it might be a baby tiger, but it kind of knows how to hit. It kind of knows how to like swipe its claw and knock that Doberman down. But you know, whatever with that little analogy or metaphor or whatever. I'm just so buzzing about this match, because it's like, because Iija got a lot of offense in, and that's usually a telltale sign that that person's not winning, especially if it's a triple threat match. So I'm just like, man, he's getting like all this shit in.
He didn't get pinned.
Yeah, I am happy with that. It's like, go ahead.
I was gonna say, at least he didn't get pinned, because at least with Sheamus, if he gets pinned, it's not gonna really affect him. But but Ilya's still a rising star on the main roster, so you never know what might happen with that.
Yeah, but like, because that's the cool part too, because it's like, you have Drew McIntyre with that ring awareness, just like, okay, Ilya's the problem, so I need to just like get him over this barricade, have him waste time trying to get back here so I can take care of Sheamus as quickly as possible. Like, that shows just great just ring presence and just good psychology too in a match, where it's like, okay, you're the problem child, you sit over there, go in timeout and enjoy your little Lunchable. I'm gonna take care of this guy and win this match. Okay, bye. Man. But so how are we feeling about Drew McIntyre in the men's Money in the Bank match?
I had a feeling he was gonna win this match, only because there's an ongoing story of him and CM Punk right now. Because you got to look at what happened a few weeks ago at SmackDown. You had, actually, no, let's go all the way back to Clash at the Castle, when he had that match against Damian Priest. You had Punk cost him that match, so it only made sense the following week that he would show up in CM Punk's turf and embarrass him in front of his hometown. Now you got CM Punk out. Now you have Drew McIntyre qualifying to be in Money in the Bank. And CM Punk said himself that as long as he's around, Drew McIntyre's never going to become world champion again. So you would think, since the Money in the Bank factors into getting a shot at the world championship whenever he pleases, Punk's going to be coming back this Saturday to cost him that, which then builds to their match at SummerSlam, which probably sometime in July, you'll probably get that confirmation that CM Punk is cleared and he's ready for in-ring competition. So I wasn't really surprised that Drew got qualified because I wanted Iija to win it because I feel like it would have been like a good match to show off what Iija is capable of because like Michael Cole said in the show, he's never been in a ladder match before, so this would be Ilya's first ladder match to be a part of, so it'd be really interesting to see what he could do in a match like this. And I'm sure he's going to get many chances in the future to display what he can do within those matches. But from a story perspective, from looking at it from how the story's being built, it made sense for Drew McIntyre to win.
Yeah, and that's just the thing because I was kind of in the same boat. Like, man, I would love for Iija to win because I was just picturing an H-bomb off of a ladder onto somebody. Like, ooh, that would be sick. But yeah, I mean, storyline makes sense for Drew because he needs to keep going on. Plus, like, he's kind of had an attitude change too. It's like, he's still doing some of the social media stuff and all that, but it's more bitter and more angry now than it ever was. Like, earlier, it was just kind of trolling, like, haha, I injured CM Punk. He's on the shelf for a bit. And then it kind of cost him at WrestleMania. He's just like, okay, well, fuck that guy. But, he's still injured, and I still did that. I'll still get the championship again because, hey, I can get a rematch, whatever. But then, like, it was once Clash of the Castle happened and he got screwed out of that, it's like that switch flipped where we got killer Drew McIntyre now. Not like funny, goofy shitlord post or whatever on Twitter. No, this is Drew McIntyre that's going to kick your face in. And, like, in his video package too earlier, it's like, his was probably the best, if we're being honest. Because, like, his is just like, look, no one's going to stop me, and nobody can stop me. Just ask the guy who tried to. Like, that, that's just so good, because it's like, yeah, you're backing up your words, and we see that. We see the physical, just what happens if you cross Drew McIntyre and all this.
To me, I'm happy that Drew is getting his time. As you said, Drew right now is not getting no type of story other than CM Punk. How can we still have him in the main title picture or be involved in the main title picture and just have him be fighting in a ladder match to get the title briefcase? And if Drew wins, he said to himself, I will cash it in that night and cash it on either Damian or Seth. That's it. So we already have a story if that happens.
Yeah. And, like, I kind of like that, too, because, like, we have everybody involved that's been involved in all this, because even all the way back at WrestleMania, because, again, like, it was Damian Priest who cashed in on Drew McIntyre, who had just beaten Seth Rollins. And, I mean, there's even, like, story tie-in too with Judgment Day and all that we'll get into later on. But, like, yeah, I could see the vision with all that. Like, I could actually see the first match of the night being the men's Money in the Bank match. If that was going to be, like, the road we go down. Because that way, Drew wins the briefcase. It's already won.
That's true.
Or, sorry. Booking brain is now, like, going haywire right now.
All right, talk to us.
Okay.
Talk to us.
All right. Men's Money in the Bank match is the second to last match. Main event is going to be the World Heavyweight title. So Drew wins the briefcase. But then, like, he goes over to commentary, gets a chair, and just sits there with the briefcase while the main event's going on.
But do you think he will win by cashing it in?
No, he's still gonna get screwed out of it. Like somehow, some way, Punk's gonna be there to screw him out of it.
Well, chat,
Because like
my fan don't agree with you. He's saying that Drew ain't winning.
I mean, that could happen too, but like here's the thing with like the whole like Punk thing with Drew. It's always been like the moment he's about to win. And like yeah, you could tie that in with like the Money in the Bank briefcase, but it's like it's the moment where there's like that sliver, that little tiny hope, that one last hope, that one last gasp that Drew McIntyre would have in order to win, in order to have that title. Happened at WrestleMania, where it's just like, okay, you could walk away, but you know you're too busy with CM Punk here, so let me cost you there. Clash of the Castle, he is, or there was another time too. It was like it was the number one contenders match where like Drew McIntyre was this close to kicking Jay's face in or whoever's face in, and then Punk comes by, holds his leg. Oh, you were so close! You were that close. Clash of the Castle. Drew was that close to winning the World Heavyweight title, but Drew McIntyre coming in as the referee in like that last inning, 1, 2, nope, no 3 count for you. Like, so that's why my mind is going to like, okay, have Drew win the briefcase, and then you know try to cash in that night, and then as soon as he's about to, that's when he gets screwed out again, you know. And plus, this is fine too with like the men's briefcase being cashed in so soon, because we almost spent a year with Damian Priest as the Money in the Bank holder.
Yeah, because
so we can have a short
with Damian, and then with Io, we was only like 2 months or even a month.
About yeah. So, anyways, that's my booking mind just kind of going haywire. What are you guys thinking of? Like just spitballing something there.
Like, I could, like, here's my thoughts on that. I could see Drew potentially winning the Money in the Bank briefcase, and it could go down either direction. It could go down the direction you said, again, and it could also go down what I talked about earlier about Punk. Either way, like, Punk could either prevent him winning the briefcase, or he could prevent the cash-in. The only thing that because like it makes sense for it to go down that direction, but at the same time there's a part of me that doesn't want the Money in the briefcase to go to waste just like that. So what I mean by that is the Money in the briefcase is meant to propel somebody up to the main event scene. It's supposed to advance their career. Drew's already established, and you have other people on here that could potentially get that briefcase, and they could hold it for a little bit and wait for the opportunity so they could start revamping their career, so they can be in a bigger spot than they are now. And like if I'm looking at the competitors right now, like Jey Uso has a good chance, and even if he wins, I could see Bloodline getting involved with that to prevent his cash in, just to lead him into the Bloodline story. Because if we're just talking about that as a whole, we don't know how Jay's going to factor into this. He's going to factor into it. We just don't know how. So if Jay wins and he's trying to go after somebody, you never know. So you might, Solo Sikoa might send like he might send Tama Tonga Loa. He might send Jacob Fatu to screw over Jay, and then that's when he gets factored in with Roman and Jimmy again, and Jimmy and Jay rekindle the relationship. So you could build a whole story around that. Carmelo's a dark horse for me, because he could potentially hold something like that. Let's look at it like this: a man going into Money in the Bank pay-per-view this Saturday and having not only, because after tonight I don't think Bron's gonna win, but let's say hypothetically, you have Bron winning the IC title, and then you have Carmelo winning the Money in the Bank contract. That right there is already establishing 2 future stars, which is something I know WWE loves to do. And Andrade, I can't really see that. It doesn't really make sense to like factor him into anything. Would it be cool? Sure. Chad Gable, well, LA Knight, we already know what's going to happen with that. So we don't really need to talk about that. But Chad Gable, I also saw. Chad Gable, I also saw, was talked about as well because people were saying, oh, could this be the time where hypothetically he could finally get his revenge on Gunther? Let's say he waits for a little bit and then he gets that revenge on Gunther after all of that shit that he went through with Gunther last year. He finally gets his revenge. Or hypothetically, if he wants the IC title so bad and he's craving it. And I'm not really a big fan of this, but just knowing how it's in character for him to do something like this and how they recently brought up stuff like that before, he could potentially go after the IC title if he wants to. But I don't know. Like, it could go down either direction, really. I personally...
Exactly. I was about to ask you if you had to choose one of those 6 people, because the whole time
the men's harder.
The whole time you were talking, I'm here staring. Out of those 6, I don't have a one yet, but once you go, I'm gonna ask you, Whawkins, as well. Right now, let's shoot our random thing that we're gonna win. We could change our answer on Friday, but right now, if you had this 1 out of 6 chance drop, who would you choose?
I'm gonna say Chad Gable.
All right.
Just to throw something out there, just to be different, because that was going through my head recently. Especially if I don't know if you guys noticed, but he's been getting a lot of screen time. He's not in just one segment. He's in like multiple segments throughout the show now. Like he's being utilized a lot more than he's has in the past. Yeah. So that could also mean something as well, especially with this whole involvement with the Wyatt 6 story.
I agree.
See, that's why I don't think he's winning.
So for me, my choice is Jey Uso. Jey Uso is my choice of who I think will be. I think out of these 6, he's my choice. Right now, top of my answer. On Friday, I think I will have a different answer. But right now, Jey Uso is my choice. How about you, Whawkins? What's your gun to your head, choosing right now, out of 6, who will be your Russian roulette?
You know what? I'm gonna pick the dark horse and go Andrade. And here's why. Out of him, everybody else. I guess Carmelo would also kind of fall into this category as well. But
actually,
like,
you know what? I'm gonna switch my answer to Carmelo. Actually, I have to because
2/3 of the whole field have somebody that will interfere in anything that they do, Money in the Bank briefcase wise. So it's just like, okay, what about Andrade?
Well, we have LA Knight with Logan Paul, Drew McIntyre with CM Punk, Chad Gable with the Wyatt 6, and Jey Uso with
or even Otis.
Or Otis, But like, so like 2/3, and I mean, oh my gosh, so you know what? Maybe it is Carmelo, because like, what if Legado decides to just rain on Andrade's parade? They try to start something with him.
Did they?
Yeah.
Well, it was like with like Angel Garza.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. That's what I'm saying, because Melo could do one of those things where he could. I could see Melo being one of those guys that holds on it for a while.
Yeah,
he has that look where he'll hold on to it. He will
find the right opportunity. Like, I feel like he reminds me of who was the person that held the title for a while, but always was waiting for that right opportunity. I think it was the Miz. Back then, or I think it was Dolph Ziggler that was holding the briefcase for a long time and was waiting for the right opportunity. Like he kept, trying to watch the champion, see if he looked weak, and then left. I think he did that. I forgot who was the Miz or Dolph Ziggler, but that's what Carmelo could do as well. Play it right.
That's why I'm gonna actually change my answer to Carmelo, because I'm gonna actually stick to what my gut told me about if Triple H really wants to go down this direction and he wants to establish like 2 future stars in his company. If he has Braun Breaker beat Sami, because you have to remember we're used to all that stuff in the Vince era, where they had those little things shown on the go home show, and then leading into the pay-per-view itself, we're like, okay, we already know the winners. But nowadays they're throwing curveballs at us.
Yeah.
So they might try to lead us on.
Last week we couldn't talk about it. I can't wait for us to talk about it in the Judgment section. But man, those tag champions getting switched. I know Whawkins was screaming with excitement watching that on his TV. The show ended, Finn won. I know Whawkins had the biggest smile. I was literally in my bed like, oh, I know he's happy.
It's funny. It's funny you bring that up because if you all cast your minds back to like WrestleMania time, and one of us had a prediction of the tag titles being split to Triple H's boys, that would have showed a great way to have a new generation, but nah. We'll give it to R-Truth and The Miz.
Well, yeah, that might happen this Friday. Yep.
Yeah,
I'm confident it is, actually. I'm confident.
And I hope so. I hope so.
Because if you look at it, does it really make sense after what's going on in Austin Theory for them to win?
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping it makes sense.
But
I'm hoping it's the impetus to like get the team split up and all that.
Question before we transition to the other qualifier match, should we transition to
Olivia,
Judgment
you know
Day?
what's up.
Judgment Day conversation, since we've been kind of.
We're gonna stick with Money in the Bank.
Okay, copy.
Yeah, yep. Because we had another qualifying match. We had another qualifying match tonight to finish off the women's side of the women's ladder match. We had Dakota Kai. We had everyone's favorite Zoey Stark.
The electrifying Zoey Stark, the future of the company. Zoey Stark.
And Ivy Nile. So first of all, this was a match, that it qualified for everything that a match is, but man, this should have been Dakota Kai. This really should have been Dakota Kai's night. Like,
exactly.
I mean, I get it with the story they're telling, like, oh, Lyra and the boring Cali girls, which, don't get me started on them either. Like, oh, they're gonna face off against Damage Control. I'm just like, come on. Can't Lyra just, like, do shit on her own against EO? Can't we just go down that route? Because that's a much more interesting
That threw me off guard one thing I want to say, chat, if you're not following Charlie Girl on Twitch, that is Dakota Kai Twitch channel, her streaming, because I want to give a shout out to that, because I felt the pain for the Dakota Kai. And there's a clip going around on Twitter, on social, of how Dakota Kai wanted this win to be in the singles competition. She really wanted to be in the singles run. But to see it announced saying that next week we're about to have a triple 6-man tag match going on of Lyra and then the girls versus Damage Control. I felt bad for Dakota Kai a lot, because that's not what she wanted. This is not what she wanted for her next chapter, and this is something that she wanted her singles. And I felt bad, like you brought up, Whawkins. Why does Lyra have to be mixed up with a storyline that I'd rather see in one-on-one, or add some type of stipulation? Going like in a 6-man, it just feels like it's a rinse and repeat, like a recycled story with Damage Control, or you can literally replace any other group. Like back then when we had the Imperium versus the New Day for almost 3 months, just rinse and repeat, just change up wrestler, to change up with a stipulation, so it didn't work out. But if the Damage Control is gonna be that rinse and repeat recycle, at least change it up your page. I'm not saying that your booking is bad. It just kind of gets obvious, and it kind of gets very repetitive, where we don't want it to get stagnant. That's 1. 2, Dakota Kai, I'm going to say right off the bat, Dakota Kai should have gotten this W. Zoey Stark, I'm happy for you. I may be the only one in the panelists that may be happy for you. However, I believe in you. If you work out with Sonya Deville, if you break up with Shayna, it's going to suck, because I actually like you guys having that type of like homie type of vibe. Like, yeah, are some alpha predators in the locker room. Y'all strong. Y'all beat up anybody, but y'all not working out well as a tag team, and that sucks because it looks like y'all are having a lot of fun. That's honestly true. It looks like you guys are having a blast, but it looks like it's not working out well to the audience. And hopefully with Sonya Deville, even if she gets we don't know yet publicly. If I'm aware,
I saw that.
I missed it.
Oh, Vash wants to go to those scrums, huh? Vash really wants to go to those scrums.
Hey, I'm gonna change this by next recording, guys. My next recording will be gone because I'm gonna put the Discord link that I got. I'm gonna put the Nitro. You're gonna see actual things in the background. But also, I still hate it that it's not a perfect green screen because I'm a fucking lady. That's a whole different conversation. Anyway, when it comes to where was I? I got lost.
You're A-okay. While you think about that.
Yes, Zoey Stark is amazing. It sucks
there you
that with Sonya Deville, hopefully it goes out well in the storyline for Sonya Deville, and I'm glad that she's adding some story in this, some sparks, because we are unaware if she's greenlit to fight again or wrestle. So at least she's being involved on TV and getting some TV time, even if it's backstage.
Yep. But I need to hear from you, Drop. I need to hear from you about all this, because didn't you love when? Sorry, I'm gonna tease you real quick before you go off. But didn't you love the fact that Damage Control comes out to help Dakota Kai? Awesome, great, Dakota Kai's gonna win. Oh, here comes Alba Fire and Isla Dawn to just fuck all that up. Oh, there's the Z. Don't you love the Z360? Don't you love how that just ends a match really quick?
I mean, I do like the finisher. I think.
I do too.
I think it's a very creative finisher.
It's a very cool finisher.
But
don't you love the person on the other, like on the don't you love the person that does the move?
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
And there's like a whole story to this. Like, I have nothing against Zoey Stark. I think she has a lot of potential. And that's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
She has a lot of potential, but she's not being utilized properly. And that comes with the booking that's being put into the shows, because the reason why people feel the way they do towards Zoey, and it's not like on purpose where they're just doing this just because, Triple H isn't really giving those people a reason to actually believe in her based on the booking. Like, whenever you see her and Shayna in a match, it's always constant like squash matches, or they're getting put into segments that aren't really getting them that much exposure. That's why, at least with the Sonya stuff, there's potential there where it could actually help get them over, so people can get invested in those characters. Because if you notice, because I remember when my friend Billy went to Monday Night Raw when they came over here in my state a couple months ago, he told me when Zoey came out there in her entrance, she had no reaction, and it almost looked like she was teary-eyed, and it does suck, because I don't want anybody to be displayed that way, because I do know deep down that she has a lot of potential, because I've seen what she's capable of in NXT.
Mm-hmm.
I know that she's capable of putting on great matches, but she is a very good performer in the ring, and I want WWE to give those people a legitimate reason to believe in her. And the reason why I'm not really a fan of the outcome of this match, and it's not because it's mainly because, like we saw recently with Dakota Kai, especially when she went online talking about how she really wants to take that opportunity to be a singles competitor, because she's always paired up with Damage Control all the time. Maybe that's her stick for now.
Mm-hmm.
But if you guys seen, like, I know Vash hasn't, but speaking to you, Whawkins, like, looking at what she has been capable of on NXT, you can tell what Dakota Kai can do on her own. And she even mentioned in that
she's
video
really
itself, she's like, besides the stuff I did on NXT, I actually want to go out there and do something. Because look at it like this. Io goes out there and does something on her own. Asuka goes out there and does something on her own. Bailey went out there, did something on her own. Kyrie went out there, did something on her own before the whole damage control thing. And even before she was paired up with Asuka, she had opportunities on her own. Dakota never really had that opportunity because she's always paired up with somebody. That's why I really wanted
or she's
her.
injured.
Yeah, and that's why I really wanted her to win this match, because I just feel like when you look at a certain person and you know it's their time to shine, you could feel it in that very moment. Like when Io won Money in the Bank last year, I knew it was her time because I can feel the energy in the air. I felt that way with LA Knight, but unfortunately things didn't go down that direction. But at the same time, I'm happy with what Priest is doing right now, especially with his character work. But I just felt like it was Dakota's time to be qualified in this match, because at least if she's participating in this match, then you could see, like, okay, this is really cool. I like how Dakota's out here doing this and that, so she can display to the audience what she's capable of. And the whole thing.
No, don't worry. I agree with you.
Yeah, it's just the whole thing with Zoey. It's like,
oh no,
you're not giving me a reason to like really believe in her as a character, and that's not me showing any disrespect towards her at all. It's just, let's use this for an example. It's like I'm reading a manga, and I want to get invested in a character. Like if I'm reading My Hero Academia, for example, I want to get invested in Deku. I want his story to be compelling so I can get invested in his journey as I'm reading over 400 chapters of this manga. I don't want it to be a one-dimensional thing. I want there to be multiple layers added on top of this so I can be invested in that. And I'm not saying she needs to be a super complex character, but you need to give me something to sink my teeth into. And the way that she's being booked, it honestly, I'm just not really a fan of it. I just want more for her.
Yeah, just a little bit more, like, and that just comes with, more character work, more growth, and all that. Because like we thought we were getting something more. At least I did when she was having her program with Trish last year. So you would think, okay, that would have elevated her to a certain level, and like.
What happened to that type of segment, I feel like they maybe tried something and it didn't work out as what they were hoping for. Because like everyone thought like she was doing good work with the mic with Trish, she was getting pushed, but maybe it was not working for what the audience wanted. And again, to repeat to the audience that is watching us and hearing what we're thinking, knowing that even one day when we get to interview the rest of the narrative, we will tell them what we think respectfully at the end of the day. Like, hey, Zoey, we like you as a person. We just didn't like the character work that you got to portray. The same thing like with Ricochet. His contract expired. He's in the alumni bracket on the website now. My man, I'm sad about that shit. Back at the end of the day, if he moves to AEW, I'm going to go watch AEW. Honestly, I will, just for him. I will go watch a whole different network. I'm not gonna watch a 5-hour pay-per-view, but I'm gonna watch his segments because I'm a big fan of Ricochet. With Zoey Stark, I want to be a fan of her. I am, but I have higher expectation for a character that she could be. Hopefully down the line with what's going on with Sonya Deville and everything, and hopefully with his Money in the Bank, hopefully it could portray her as a wrestler and her skill sets to the audience to show that she has what she has, not let's be entertained by her.
Yeah. And hopefully she can learn and grow from all this, which I think she does. She does have potential and all that. So, yeah. I mean,
I have a question.
The match itself, go ahead.
Before we jump into the rest of this, I was gonna ask you guys the other transition question that I asked for the men's. Who do you think of the 6? We have.
I was actually about to get to that.
The previous winner, Io Sky, Lava Verkeer, the newest one addition to Tiffany Stratton, the most favorite out of the qualifier of the women's, Naomi Glow. We have Zoey Stark and Chelsea Green. for the women's bracket of the Money in the Bank, I'm gonna go first. My choice is Tiffany Stratton. That's my choice. It is Tiffany Stratton herself. How about you, Whawkins? I'm gonna throw it to you first. How about you?
You know, you're all asking me to choose between two people that I like a lot.
I'm gonna guess
That would
your
do,
choice.
That would do wonders. That would
Chelsea
do wonders for the Money in the Bank briefcase. And damn it, if I don't think that Karrion should get it, give it to, as Samantha Irvine would say, Chelsea Green. Yeah, give it to Chelsea. Why not? Tiffany would be a good one. I know she would be, but man, it's one of those heart choices. You know, it's one of those ones that's just like, you know what, the brain, the booking brain says one thing, but man, sometimes I gotta go with my heart.
All right,
And most of the time I do. And yeah.
We have one Chelsea Green and we have one Tiffany Stratton. Are you going for Liva Valkyria or are you gonna go for a different one?
I'm probably going with Tiffany Stratton.
We got two for Tiff.
Jumping into this thing. Yeah, because jumping into this, and even earlier this year when I was just thinking about Money in the Bank as a whole, that just fits her character. That's why I can't really blame Whawkins for choosing Chelsea Green, because that briefcase fits both of their characters. They would honestly probably do the exact same thing with that briefcase. They'll just walk around with it. They'll flaunt it around, and they seem the ball. Like, if Chelsea wins, I wouldn't be mad. If Tiffany wins, I would be like really excited, because at least with Chelsea Green, that's you building another star, which is what I want out of the Money in the Bank contract, is you building another star to add to your division, like a main event star. So at least from there, because you already know Tiffany Stratton is going to be a main event star, you don't really need anything to really propel her to that. But her getting a Money in the Bank contract, that's like a sign where, like, yeah, that's what we're doing to her. But at least with Chelsea Green, that's something that's thrown out of left field that a lot of people probably wouldn't see, because for the most part, people probably think Chelsea Green's in here just to be like the whole comedy of the match, doing this and that or whatever. But you never know, she might pull out a couple tricks. Oh yeah, but you never know, she might actually pull out a couple tricks, and she might actually surprise us. She might actually win the whole thing. So I wouldn't be against that at all whatsoever. But I'm just gonna say, like, Tiffany Stratton, because that's what I feel confident in, because I just feel like this whole relationship with Nia is only being built for a particular reason. So once there's an opening, Tiffany's gonna strike when the iron's hot.
Yep, and just
especially
use
with that match
Nia
that
Jax
she
to
has
get
at
that
Bayley
title.
in SummerSlam.
Yeah.
It's gonna be interesting.
Like imagine this, Bayley. Yeah, like imagine this at SummerSlam. You got Bayley and Nia going at each other. They're all exhausted, and then Tiffany strikes right there. That's in her.
I also have another little bit of fantasy booking with it all.
All right, talk to us. Ready this
Because-
segment for you.
because-
for tips.
Don't worry, this one's very short. Because they keep harping about how there's 100% success rate for the women's Money in the Bank briefcase.
Yes, they did say that this evening.
Well, yeah, they keep saying it. They said it on Friday, I believe, and they probably said it last week too. But I've been catching it now. They've been saying it a lot more. Watch Chelsea Green win it and then fail.
If she wins it, I see her failing with no problem.
Yeah. So yeah, just a little bit of fantasy booking out there for all you lovely people out there. But I mean, about this match itself, the triple threat, I mean, it was fine. You know, it did its job, except for, having Dakota Kai win. But I mean, other than that, I think we can move on from our headlines of the night.
Yes, I'm okay with us to move on to the Judgment Day.
Good. That's right. We had our main storyline tonight. Oh, I bet. Yeah, there was a lot to do with the Judgment Day tonight. And yeah, they were basically our main story of the evening, just Judgment Day and all their wonderful, fun shenanigans. We had our first segment here where it's like Damian Priest walking down the hallway with Dominic, and he's just like, "Hey, you talked to Rhea lately? You talked to mommy?" Yeah, she told me to take care of it and all that, but we find out maybe Dom hasn't really been talking to Rhea. Maybe he's just been kind of bullshitting around with all that. Because Damian Priest is just like, all right, well, I talked to her, and she's pissed. So, first of all, let's tackle this little wrinkle going on. This whole thing with Dom saying, oh yeah, mommy's told me to handle it, and yet, is he actually talking to Rhea? What do you guys think?
Why is Dom lying? Like, why are you lying to Damian? And you just got caught in lying. And even if Damian was lying himself, he said what he said, and he caught Dom in a lie. So it looks like he's been. How long has he been lying, saying that, hey, yeah, with me and mommy is all good? They're like, oh, word, that's weird. I just spoke to mommy, and she ain't happy about it. So he's been avoiding her on what the situation is and not telling her what's up, and that's not good.
Yeah. What about you, Drop? How you feeling about? How do you feel? Do you think Dom is telling the truth, or is he like? How do you think he's hiding everything?
He's being a bad boy.
Honestly, I personally feel like he's probably too afraid to speak to Rhea right now with everything that's going on. Like, he probably doesn't know how to approach her. Because I think what's really going on is what's going on between Liv and Finn. Because I honestly think Dom's a red herring. Because if you've been paying attention to like what's been going on these past couple weeks with Finn grabbing the hotel card, more than likely going to the hotel, and also you saw Liv with Judgment Day inside the car. You didn't even see Finn in there. You only saw Finn and JD. I mean, you didn't see Dom in there. You only saw Finn and JD. So I feel like Dom's supposed to be a red herring, and then Finn's the actual person involved with Liv.
I
think he's just too scared.
Yeah, and also,
I agree.
Why is Dom walking on with Damian down the hallway, but then doesn't know where Liv is, but then Liv is hanging out with Finn, Carlitos, and them playing
again, Finn.
2K24.
Again,
Finn.
And plus Carlitos being happy as I say, I was playing you, my guy. I was playing your character, Damian Priest.
You also gotta remember what happened last week as well, when Finn told Damian about the tag match that they got. Liv came out of there, and Finn was the only one inside that room.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think Dom's a red herring.
But no,
bro,
I did not trust these. I did not trust this laughter coming out from the clubhouse, because like when they're walking up to the clubhouse, like you can hear Liv laughing for one, because you know she has that loud laugh. But it's like, wait, I didn't know what was going on in there. Yeah, because I thought we were gonna get the reveal of like the whole Finn Liv thing, like you were talking about, Drop. Like I thought we were gonna get that tonight. Like wait, they're being very loud, and not like the kind of like, haha, we're playing a video game loud. No, we're being loud as in a haha. We're playing a game loud, if you know what I mean, people. Yeah. But no, they were actually playing a video game. You know, yay, go team. But then we get into like after Liv's kicked out of the clubhouse and all that, we get this like short little conversation between Finn and Priest, and
that was an interesting one.
Yeah, it really is, because it's like, you can kind of see both sides to it, because it's like, first of all, of course, Finn's going to be pissed at Priest for last week, basically saying, Judgment Day needs me, but like, I kind of like Priest's retort to that, saying like, okay, well, when Rhea was around, she was the world champion of the group,
and we needed her.
She had to deal with things. Yeah, and we needed her. Exactly, Vash. It's like, okay, I get your reasoning with that. I understand that. And then Finn kind of turned it around to be like, okay, well, you've changed since you've gotten that thing. and pointing at the Money in the Bank briefcase. But I can almost track that even way further back, like back when he won the Money in the Bank briefcase. But how, Drop? I want to start with you. How did you take this conversation? Like, and I guess which side do you kind of feel more towards?
That I have to think about for a
Yeah.
few seconds before I get back to it. But when it comes to like the whole situation going on between Finn and Priest, I'm just gonna say it right here. That's your SummerSlam match.
Yep.
And also with like Finn, like adding on to what I said earlier, where Finn was like pretty sure the issue not Liv. Have you ever seen Dom get offensive about Liv? No.
Nope.
Finn's getting offensive by Liv, so that's adding more. That's adding like more fuel to what I said earlier about how Dom's the red herring and Finn's actually the one involved. But they've been having ongoing issues for a long time, like you were talking about when Damian Priest had the Money in the Bank briefcase, when Finn had that whole feud with Seth for a couple months, and I remember he was teasing that he was gonna cash in his Money in the Bank briefcase as the match went on, and I remember he actually ended up costing Finn one of those matches when he had that feud with Seth, so then you had tension brewing there. So this has been an ongoing thing for a while now. Like, this isn't the first time where they started going at each other. It's been an ongoing thing for so long. That's why they're relighting the fire with that again, and that's why you're seeing Triple H put more focus on that storyline going with them, because I can honestly see it factoring in on the pay-per-view this Saturday as well, where Damian Priest has been very blunt about not needing Judgment Day because he feels like he's more than capable of taking care of himself. So I could see it being one of those things where him and Finn might possibly have some sort of tension brewing on Saturday, and then he just goes out there and defends the title himself, and maybe Finn goes out there and costs him the title, maybe not intentionally, but maybe Finn goes out there to try to help him and ends up screwing over Priest, and then he ends up losing the title and Seth gets it. And then that's when you can start building things with them towards like SummerSlam so they can have a match with each other. But going back to your question now, I think I'm on Priest's side.
Yeah, because I could see that, because it's like, okay, just like what he said. It's like, okay, well, when Rhea was around, she was world champion. She not only had to do her own thing, but like she also like kind of took leadership with everything and all that. And like, I guess with that though too, it's like, okay, well, Rhea also, like, she did kind of help out the boys a little bit too. And I think that's kind of where Finn's side of everything goes. It's like, okay, well, yeah, that's true. That's, you're not wrong there, because, she had her own stuff too. But like, she was out there when we were, trying to get the titles from like Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn and all that. She was out there like kicking all that ass too. Like, she was out there with Dom beating up on Rey Mysterio and all that. Even that was before the title too. But like, even still, it's just like, she was still out there helping them. Whereas like Damian hasn't really done much. I mean, hell, he even just said, last week, they need him more than he needs them. And like, now they're having Liv being around. Like, she's actually kind of helping them, or at least Finn. We'll get to the whole Dom thing here in a little bit. But like, so now I want to bring it up to you now, Vash. Like, how do you feel about this conversation? Who do you lean towards, one side or not? Like, what are your thoughts just on this conversation had between Finn and Priest?
The way I see these two having a conversation, I can relate to anybody that you have a friendship with or relationship with, that you see them changing up for a girl, or they're obsessed with my precious, a little item or goal that they cannot obtain yet without them constantly overworking themselves, or being the face of the company. And that's what the character of Damian Priest has been. He has been trying to be the face of the company with the Money in the Bank briefcase last year, with becoming, with Senor Money in the Bank, and now he's becoming a champion. So I get it where Finn is coming from. If you're asking me who do I support, or if you're asking me, who do I choose, Tony Stark or Steve Rogers, Captain America, right now at the moment, I choose Finn Balor.
I cheese Finn Balor.
I yeeted Finn Balor. Finn Balor is who I choose is out of this conversation, because I see and understand where he's coming from. That you see your friend being blinded by an obsession from a briefcase to a belt. Same type of metaphor, even though it got replaced with a different item. I see the vision of how Finn is like, yo, we were never there for who supports who. Is we help each other. That's what the Judgment Day was always for. We are individual of a team. Like Rhea Ripley helped us before. I'm the world champion now, tag team with my big-headed tag partner. We are in this. Now, you, Damian, my dude, you're doing your own shit. So what the fuck? How the fuck can I expect you to be part of the Judgment Day if you're doing you? You're doing you in your own corner. You're not doing you with us. But it's funny how later that night, Finn Balor came out by himself with no Judgment Day and with his belts. It reminds me that he did the same thing last year and came out by himself without the Judgment Day when he was having his feud with Seth Rollins.
Yeah, because like he wanted to confront Rollins and all that about like him and Priest and all that stuff. And man, I keep going back to just like the Finn and Seth feud. I'm like, man, Finn could have won the title then, and he could have been a world champion again. But no, we can't give Finn the world title. That just always blows so much.
I kind of wanted him to be. I wanted him to be in the Money in the Bank match. That's why I wished he went over instead of Jay.
Same here. Yeah, but much like what happened with King of the Ring and Ilya Dragunov, gotta make room for the yeet. Yay. Oh man, but you know what? We've been talking about world champions and all that. We had a world championship match tonight, actually, from the women's side. We had Liv Morgan defending her title against, I almost called her Daki because she was kind of doing her Demon Slayer cosplay. It's Zelina Vega. And first of all, I just want to point out, Zelina Vega, I feel like she's been improving so much with each match she's been getting. Like, she had a few, like, awesome arm drags at the beginning of this match, and then like her offense has been really good. Like the moonsault she pulled off was really good. But again, Corey Graves on commentary, like again, I thought he was on fire tonight. Him being back in the color commentary role has been kind of a breath of fresh air for him, I feel like. But like he had an awesome observation here where Zelina, he complimented her offense, like, oh, she has great offense, but like he pointed out the problem with it was that like it takes so much setup time, so much prep time in order for her to pull off that offense that it's like, oh yeah, this is gonna slow you down a bit.
There was one on the top rope that she was setting up. I think it was to do like a sunset flip with Liv down. And that kind of got me. Wait, what? Oblivion, if you saw that, take a picture. If you saw Weebs of the Ring sign, take a picture. Chat, if you take a Weebs of the Ring poster sign to a arena stadium of AEW, WWE, any type of wrestling show, please take a picture of it and tag us on our social. Or join our Discord as well. I believe on the description it should have a current active link. If it's not, please let me know.
Oh, look.
But please, because we will support it, we will definitely follow or repost it, for sure. Because we would love to have the fans and audience. That's one out of the way. Two, when it comes to no active link copy, I will give an active link later after the stream. When it comes to Zelina, she did a nice tempo sunset flip, but what Whawkins said, Corey Graves hit it on the market. That it takes a lot of setup to get it just right. Even though it does a great execution, look what happened. You did the awesome flip and executed, but then Liv Morgan sleaze her way out of the ring, and you couldn't do a 1-2-3 pin. And you was like so close. You were so close to get it, because at this point, even Michael Cole brought it up, saying that it's been 14 months since we had Zelina Vega have another opportunity for the women's title.
Yeah. But, just more reason to have that mid-card women's title. So maybe one day. Maybe one day. But I do like this story that we're telling of Dom trying to keep Liv, trying to get Liv to lose, even though she ends up winning.
He's doing such a bad way at doing this. It's like, my guy, you're throwing the chair, but the ring, not the ring announcer, the referee is seeing this, and then it comes back and bites you, but then it comes back to bite the person that hit you with it. So it kind of worked what you was trying to aim for.
Yeah. But, what was it? Oh, so, okay. I don't know if I've said it on here yet or not, but I've said this a few times with some friends of mine. I swear, I want to look at Rey Mysterio's contract, because I want to know if there's a clause in there, or like a little scripture in there that says,
how many times he beats his son?
Well, besides that, if Rey Mysterio is in any match or involved in any match, someone has to do the Three Amigos, and then on commentary they have to mention the late great Eddie Guerrero. Like, I swear, it happens in every single Rey Mysterio match, and they say the same thing over and over again. I'm sorry, it gets a little old. It's like, it's like when you are a heel, you're just like, maybe bottom tier heel, and you go out to talk to the crowd, and you just pander to them about the local sports team. It's like, it's kind of getting to that point of heat where it's just like, okay, you're not getting heat, you're just being a dick. Like, I don't know. Am I the only one that feels that way? Drop, you may have seen this a lot more often, I think. But I want to throw that out there real quick about, like, just heat like that, I guess, because, like, we see Liv do this with Rhea's moves in the match, and that got a little bit more heat than this. But Drop, I want to pose it on to you about, like, this whole move stealing thing, and if you've noticed it too with, like, the whole Eddie Guerrero thing.
Yeah, they literally every time he does that move, they mention it, like, every single time.
Oh my gosh, it's like we get it. Eddie was great. Eddie was awesome. But come on, like, is that the only way people can think to get heat with Rey? You would think by now it wouldn't anger Rey at all. Like, you would think it'd just be like, oh, look at this little 20-year-old trying to do this thing. All right, I'm just going to 619 him and that'll be it. Like, you would think he would have gotten a tougher skin with all that,
Oh, yeah.
Look, I'm going to just say it like this. LWO is great what it is, but...
The who?
The LWO.
Who?
The LWO.
Who?
Eddie Guerrero.
Oh, the old one, yes. The old LWO, yeah.
Exactly.
But, like, what is this LWO you speak of today, of this day and age?
It's getting too stagnant, and like you said, they're trying to place too much on the
Expired
nostalgic.
milk.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They're trying to milk it from Naruto to Boruto, and it's not working out well. Rey Mysterio, I love you, my brother, man. I've seen you since 20 years in the business of watching pro wrestling. You've been in this longer. Great interview you had with Chris Van Knight. However, you suck as a leader. You are not helping our LWO crew members succeed in NWE on the camera, on the audience, because right now it's lacking. Dragon Lee, since he joined the LWO, he has barely had any screen time in the recent weeks, in the recent months. So it's like, hey, it's lacking overall. But when it comes to the match, Zelina Vega did such a fantastic job. I was very proud of her. She did a past of the 14 months that she has had no other women's match. I'm glad that she did great. She pulled off the Tres Amigos. She did such a fantastic role. She threw jabs against Dominic. She's like, yes, papa to you, my guy. I honestly thought for a moment that she might have it, because I thought Ripley, from the teases they did in the earlier beginning of the show, I thought Rhea Ripley was gonna pop out tonight and cause the match and have Zelina win, and then this would be a good feud for throughout the next couple months. But it didn't happen. Liv Morgan took the W still, but we had both the Rey Mysterios. I said both Rey Mysterios. Both of the Mysterios coming out and intervene. But overall, I'm very happy for Zelina. She took a great W, and the cosplay / gear she had was really nice. Play a nice homage to Demon Slayer. Can't wait for us to put out our episode podcast, because I have thoughts for the 3-movie trilogy, but I'm gonna hold my thoughts on that.
Oh man, yeah. I mean, again, great match, awesome match, and yeah, thanks to good old dirty Dominic Mysterio, Liv Morgan was able to pull out the win. She was able to, retain that title and continue on her little revenge tour. And we get to meet up with Kathy Kelly, who, she's kind of feeling the effects right now, too, of Rhea Ripley not being around, as we all are. But, she does check in with Liv, doesn't she? She's like, hey, how's everything going with your revenge tour? Drop, what did Liv have to say? What does she have to say about this? I can't say it. It's so silly.
Daddy Dom.
She did say, as the full quote goes, it's going just as I planned it. She said that my victories are dedicated for Daddy Papi Chulo Dominic Mysterio.
Oh,
yeah.
It should be me.
The guy who doesn't acknowledge her. I mean, at this point, it should be, because Dom doesn't want nothing to do with her.
Oh, Dom. You're going down to Momonosuke levels of hatred for you. And if you don't understand that, well, maybe one day I'll explain it. That too. Oh my gosh.
But
so we move on.
I just want to say overall, I'm very happy for Zelina. I really hope this is not the last match that we get her for this year. Because again, Michael Cole did say it, 14 months. So we have not had a match for Zelina since 14 months ago. That's back last year of the beginning of May or June, was it, for...
He meant championship match.
Yes, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So hopefully... Yeah, so I'm saying, like, hopefully we get another championship match down the line for the rest of this year. Or if not, like Whawkins said earlier, the mid-card title match. I mean, the mid-card title.
The non-existent.
That's non-existent currently. Hopefully it comes down the line that one day Zelina, Chelsea Green, any other woman contenders that we have mentioned should have the opportunity, because it deserves it. So, Zelina, happy for you. Hopefully to have you on the podcast one day in interview. And again, great match overall. You did a great job. Hopefully you impress your superiors, because they're the ones that should be like bucket for the next couple of weeks. But hey, for me as a fan and as a critic, I was entertained. Great match overall.
Yeah. Yep, but moving on from our women's world championship to back to our men's world championship, because Seth Rollins has some words to say, but he doesn't really get to say too much, because now we get kind of the fallout to what we saw earlier with like Finn and Priest and all that, because Finn comes out there by himself, he's just like, hey Seth, I don't like you, and neither does the Judgment Day at all. And like he's kind of blaming everything on Seth Rollins right now, which Seth checks him out on that. He's like, nah, it's not just me. This thing's been boiling with you guys and all that. Damian Priest comes out, tries to be like, I got this, bro, I got this, but a fight ensues, and Damian Priest does, he does get some sort of revenge on Seth to Finn. But, at the end of the day, he does tell Finn in the back, he's just like, look, man, Saturday, I need to do this on my own. And, like, it's kind of a babyface way that he's kind of going about it, even though he's kind of being an ass about how he's treating the Judgment Day, too. But it's like, okay, I get it. You need to prove to yourself that you can stay at the top of this game and all that. But yeah, I mean, what did we think about this light segment? I mean, Seth didn't really have much to say, but
I like that Seth came out. I was very happy to see him. I'm a big Seth fan, and just hearing his theme song, I would love to go to a Monday show, a Raw show, and just hear his song, and just scream out of my lungs like, whoa, whoa, whoa. So like that would have been amazing to see. But for Seth to get interrupted by Finn, I didn't expect that. That's one. Like I didn't expect for Finn to interrupt them and get straight to the point. But I feel like Finn was kind of projecting. It was interesting because Finn was projecting, saying like, hey, instead of me blaming myself that I'm the problem, or blaming my Judgment Day crew that they're the problems, we need to work out our issues. You know what? Seth, you're the problem. If I was Seth, I would have been like, bitch, I've been gone for 2 months. How the fuck am I the problem? What you mean?
Yeah. Like, what did I do?
Like, what did I do? I literally been healing my damn knees. Did you not hear on commentary that I was the MVP on both nights of the damn fucking main event of WrestleMania? And you're telling me I'm the problem? How, Finn?
Yeah,
I've been gone for 2 months.
And I just came back. I just got back.
And your guy gave me a title match just because he thought I'm that guy. Guess what, Finn? I'm that guy. So you're telling me that I'm the problem? How about you dealing with your little posse in your clubhouse? That's why I wish Seth would have told Finn. But guess what? He didn't have too much time because we had our tall champion coming out. Not even announcing his own damn fucking show. We had Jay with the Boston crowd that was all up in the face of the damn fucking camera. Like, these Boston crowd wanted to be like, I'm gonna be on live TV. I'm gonna just stick my whole face on this damn camera. Like, yo, can y'all get your ugly ass out of this damn camera? But then we had Chad Gable introduce it. It made no sense. But Damian wants to come out and interrupt this segment. Damian, you get me tight. Like, I love you as a champion, but then I dislike you as a champion. You're not doing what I see the vision of the visioner himself, that he put the cobblestones of you setting up, and you're going to come in and interrupt this little segment. For a second, I was like, boy, you don't belong here. And that felt weird to feel that when it was a Finn and Seth type of segment. And that's not good.
Right. But I do want to kind of go back with like some stuff that Seth was saying. Like he didn't say too much, but he said enough. We started getting like at least a little bit of his desperation right now, because like he throws this line in there, and I'm like, okay, if I don't win, if I don't get that World Heavyweight Championship again, I'm gonna need to reevaluate my legacy. Like, not just like his career going forward and all that, like, because that's usually like what they would say around this time. It's like, okay, I need to reevaluate, my career and all that. But like, he kind of emphasizes his legacy, and it's like, okay, well, I guess he's looking more for like what he's gonna leave behind and all that.
So
but
I have
like,
a question about that.
Yeah.
What did you guys think about the interesting playlist they posted a couple of days ago with a guy they haven't named in such a while time? And since how everything the company had been posting is everything related now to the new era, we have Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins, and our tribal chief Roman Reigns being posted of a full 2 hour plus playlist of the Shield, but he called this his legacy. Do you think this is like showing hints of maybe a reunion down the road of Seth, Roman Reigns, and Dean, or is this like a new group and maybe continue the old group that was called the Legacy back in the day? That's my
I don't
far
think
reach
so.
goal. That's my far reach
Yeah.
goal. I may be stretching here, but let me know.
Yeah, because Moxley's nowhere close to being coming back to WWE.
Yeah.
Like he is,
I don't think
he is
to be
enjoying
honest.
himself. Yeah, like if he did, it would be like a one-off kind of thing. But
Yeah.
even then, that's like a bit of a stretch. Like he left WWE on such like not really bad terms, but like more of like he had a bad taste in his mouth when he left. So it's like
Yeah.
even if things have gotten better or he's told that things have gotten better, it's like
Hey guys,
he's probably not gonna go back.
With CM Punk coming back, anything's possible. That's why, like, at this point, I'm like, hey,
I mean, yeah. See, that's the thing. It's like I'm not. At least me, I'm not saying no because again, like one-offs can happen and all that shit. I'm just saying, like, don't bank on it happening.
yeah, like
Yeah,
no,
'cause, like-
with a nice comma and 3 dots, like
Mhm.
let's wait until things get added.
Right.
Yeah, because if you look at how Moxley is right now, he's doing what he always wanted to do. Like the kind of matches that
Mhm.
he's doing now, he wasn't able to go out there and do those kind of matches in WWE. And yes,
Yeah.
it's a different era, but at the same time, Moxley puts on specific kind of matches, and you probably wouldn't be able to see that every single week on WWE television. So that's probably why
Yeah.
he's in the company that he is now. Could he potentially come back in the future? Sure. But I think that whole playlist that was shown off by the company a little while ago was probably just one of those celebration playlists where they're just putting something like a little nostalgic playlist to go look back at, like when the Shield was first formed and seeing all the matches they had and
Mhm.
all the different kinds of moments that they had within that time span of them being together as a group. I think that's all it was, honestly.
Yeah. Or, maybe Roman's gonna join up with Seth. Who knows? Who knows? Again, like Vash said, CM Punk went back to WWE, which means anything can happen. Ah, man. But what can happen though is our last segment with the Judgment Day. Because hey, it's nice that Seth got some promo work. That was cool. That was awesome. But Judgment Day's night was not done quite yet. Because again, we had father versus son. We had a good old domestic dispute happening right on our TV screens. We had Rey Mysterio versus Dominic Mysterio, which was sponsored by Modelo. Which, just being told that, you already know who's gonna win. Like, it's a sponsored Rey Mysterio match. Rey's winning, but I thought this was kind of fun,
What's
because
funny-
like Dominic at least, yeah, go ahead.
No. I was just gonna add to that statement because it triggered memory. That was the same thing that happened in WrestleMania when it was a 2 versus 2. It was Rey Mysterio and Arandred versus Dominic and forgot who it was.
Santos Escobar.
Yeah, Santos. Yeah, it was Santos.
What, WrestleMania?
Yeah.
Yeah, WrestleMania, and
Yeah.
that was also a sponsor match in that segment, and Ray won that. We thought that Dominic was gonna win, In tonight's match, I thought Dominic was gonna win. I'm like, all right, cool. Ray
Yeah.
has 2 wins over his son now. Maybe we should start giving him a win. Like, we should start giving Dominic a win against his father. By the end of the match, I was like, wait a minute. I think I texted to the group. I literally said, wait, guys, Modelo's sponsoring it for tonight. And I'm like,
Oh yeah, I saw that.
that means Dominic's
Yeah.
not winning then. That's when once I texted the guys that, I was telling myself that too. I'm like, oh, Ray's winning because he's sponsored by Modelo.
Yep. A mediocre beer. That's right. I
No,
said it.
Damn.
I said it. I
fuck with
said
that
it.
beer.
It's all right.
I fuck
Yeah,
with
it's
that
all right.
beer. It's nice.
Again, nothing wrong with being mediocre. It's just it's fine.
But it seems like this fight was kind of mediocre. If that is what you're saying too.
Yeah.
I mean,
I was honestly
it was
surprised that Dom didn't win, only because I thought this was going to be the moment where he actually won. Because you would think that after all of these kinds of matches that he had at Rey Mysterio, he would at least win once. But this is like what does it say? The 3rd match he's had with him. I don't know if they promoted this match as it being like their 2nd one.
Well, technically, it's the second 1-on-1, but this is their 3rd match.
I don't.
I'm not sure if
I
they
got caught
promote
up.
it.
Oh, well, and anyways, doesn't really matter, but I was honestly surprised Dom didn't win this because I thought it was going to be one of those things where what was I saying? I thought it was going to be one of those things where it's like Liv saw that Dom helped her even though Dom didn't really want to help her, and then she was going to do the same thing, and then that was going to progress the relationship even more, but it didn't happen. I was honestly surprised. I don't know if it's in his contract. Like,
Yeah, I was
you guys
too.
said earlier about him always having to beat his son.
Oh yeah, that was Vash. Like, yeah, in Rey Mysterio's contract, it's like, okay, I have to always defeat my son unless it's my retirement match, which won't happen for another year. So I got another year until I could, not beat up my son. But I'm still gonna beat up my son, just like I did, back in the day in video games and all that. It's like, oh, Ray, come on, let your kid succeed. Let him do good. Stop holding him back.
Zach,
Let him run this bitch.
It'll be interesting.
He said that, and I'm just like, no, you don't.
Like, it'll be interesting to see once Dominic actually wins. But I don't know how you guys feel. Tell me about this. I want Dominic to have an actual type of serious match without interference. Like, I don't remember the last time we had a story segment with Dominic as him having a match himself. Like, without having Finn, Damian, Liv, Rhea, having any type of outside sources, to try to save him, stop him, and everything. I want him to actually.
I don't even remember.
Exactly. It's been too long. The last thing I remember was him having a nice one-on-one match was back in NXT last year in the fall or in the summertime. And it's been too long because I feel like for Dom, I know he's going to be the next Ray. He has, he is, the father and son. He has the ability to be as good or to be as better than your father because he already has had so much foot in the he has had so much foot in the door already to be where he is. But I'll need Dominic to just stop being like how we kind of make fun of JD, having his big head, having his moments and everything, laugh out there and get hit by John Cena or get hit by everyone finisher, and he's kind of is the whole laughing stock, right? When it comes to Dom, I want to see him improve in the work and the mic. We haven't heard him actually speak in the mic in a consistent basis because everyone's booing, which again is part of the work. I love it. Yes, boo this man. Get this man to not fucking speak, even by the whole damn arena.
Boo.
Boo this man.
Boo.
Even say fuck you Solo like we got everyone to scream on SmackDown on Friday over there at MSG. Yes, but Dom, my man, I really wanted this fight to be better with against his father, but overall it was entertaining. I just need to see a better Dominic, and overall that's what it was excited to see. Even though we saw two Amigos and then a break, and then we saw the last Amigos done, which I'm like, does that still
seems like whenever he does it? Seems like whenever he does it, he never gets to finish it off.
Yeah, it's like.
Oh yeah, no, never.
Yeah, like does that count
At least
as the
against
three Amigos?
At least it's Ray.
Yeah, with this
again,
one.
contract. Oh man, but before we continue on, I do want to at least like throw this out there. If you're still watching, JD, thank you for the shout out. Apparently,
Yeah. I'm gonna go check it out later.
greatly appreciated. Yeah,
Wait, what
apparently, so we have that Dino Man in the chat. Apparently, JD was watching us on stream, and he shouted us out.
Oh,
So, thank you. That is greatly appreciated. Yeah, I just wanted to throw that out in case you're still watching. Don't worry. I've been kind of typing in the chat real quick, just
Same here. I haven't been able to
keeping
check
all
it,
that. But
I'll definitely tune in later.
yeah, that's awesome. So thank you guys so much for that. So yeah, if you're still watching, hey, great, awesome, love that you guys are here. But yeah, so let's continue onward, I guess. So I guess Drop. I want to hear your thoughts on everything. I guess with all this, with especially with this when Liv came out and tried to help Dom, but I guess kind of in a way how Dom was trying to stop Liv from winning, he failed at that. I guess these two are just made for each other. They both fail as they're trying to help. Kind of a fun story we're telling with that, but
It
Drop,
was weird.
What are your thoughts?
It was
with
a
all
weird
that?
ending. I felt like it was a toxic relationship. Her being told I'm sorry, Daddy. I'm sorry, Dom. Please forgive me.
no,
I don't know
someone's
why.
gonna clip that.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yep.
Have fun.
No,
with
they're
that.
just gonna
Do it.
use it. No, they're gonna use it as a meme. Like they're gonna reply to someone on Twitter with Vash saying, "I'm sorry, Daddy."
Yes, go for it. But it was something.
And now we can clip that.
Exactly. So it was pretty interesting to see that clip from Liv Morgan at the end. I was not saying uncomfortable, but it was giving me flashbacks from exes or people that I know in high school that I've gone through and seen that type of same line and same type of monologue being spoken about, and seeing it on live TV in a soap opera way in a pro wrestling setting, kind of like, oh shit, this is a toxic relationship. But with Rhea, it was more like a type of dominance, but with Liv, it's like she's obsessed with Dominic, and Dominic don't want nothing to do with that. So it's an interesting type of toxic one-sided relationship that is gonna be intriguing how it gets destroyed later, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Oh no, it does. I can't wait for all that. But Drop, how are you feeling about this slow destruction of a relationship?
I mean, that's probably one of the things I look forward to every single week. I just love seeing what's gonna happen in between the both of them every Monday. It's always something. It's like you got her on top of Dom. Now you got Dom on top of her. Actually saw somebody
She
post
did
a
not wanna let
meme
go.
on Twitter.
Ooh.
Yeah, I saw somebody post a meme on Twitter. Oh shit! Wait, 3 hours ago. Honestly, whatever. From Charlie Girl. Oh shit.
Oh yeah.
Anyways,
Makes sense.
I saw someone saying, Dom, pull away, because if you're in this position with a girl, that's one way where they lock you in.
Yeah, lucky for that.
Oh,
one.
that's why she was holding on to him. Oh no.
Yeah.
Dom, no.
Yeah. Which that is the that is the sacred position.
Yep. that you'll be locking for next 9 months.
Yep.
Look, Dom just needs to be like his deadbeat dad and go out for milk and then become the world's greatest.
And it's not like
and
Dom. Ray set him up too.
Yo, Ray
Oh,
came in
I know,
and
that's
smacked
the best part.
Boy, what you doing? Get off this woman.
I can only
Oh, I
imagine
love
Ray's
it.
reaction, like inside,
Yeah,
trying to
inside.
keep that all in, seeing his son.
Be like,
Yeah.
boy, I'm so proud of your son. But boy, get off this girl.
You know,
married.
I
You
would
got
love-
married.
I would love to know how Dom's wife feels about all this. I would really
She's probably just
would like to know.
She's probably just looking at that bank account increasing more and more and more.
Hey, at the end of the
You know,
day,
oh my God.
they're a young couple. They have communication. We just gotta believe that they're talking and make sure, like, hey, you good? You good? All right, we good then. We move on.
What if she's giving Liv tips? What if she has Liv's phone number? She's just like, all right, Liv, this week I want you to hold on to Dominic while he's on top of you. He loves that,
That'd
but
be
it's actually
funny.
something
That'd
he
be funny.
hates.
That'd
That'd be great.
That's pure
Oh,
humor
man.
overall, but honestly,
Mhm.
the match with Rey Mysterio and Dominic round 2, 1-on-1 versus or round 3 in a match overall against each other, it was interesting. Could have been a lot better, and I hope for round 4 in the future it actually gets for Dominic to fucking win. WWE, can you please allow boy Dominic Mysterio win for once, please and thank you.
No,
Well, guess what?
as Kratos would
Yeet.
say. No. Oh man, but speaking of yeet, yeah, that's right. We're done with our main storyline of the night. We now have our card stories. Hey, card has some stories. Some fun things going on.
Yo, chat.
Where like,
I want you to
Uh-oh.
know that I did not know this document had a mid-card title segment. Literally, I'm here doing behind-the-scenes stuff in the first hour of the show. And I'm here, putting time codes already, putting what I got. I'm sorry, chat. I need to give you behind-the-scenes stuff of why I was distracted in the beginning. Because while I'm going through a document to see our rundown, I see this man having... a mid-card story section for it. I'm like, hold up. We have it a highlighter. We have a main story. And then we have a mid-card title section.
I told you I was doing a new setup.
Yeah.
I totally missed
Makes
that.
sense.
I literally have scrolled
Makes
down.
sense though.
I literally scrolled down and
Oh, yeah.
everything. And for bracket-wise, I understand it. Chat, people watching the VOD, you will never see it in the description side because the YouTube stuff don't work like that. I cannot put tab organization. No, I could just put time codes. So you guys are not gonna get the official stuff. But for our own documents and purposes, I'm gonna laugh every week now because if it's gonna go like this with a mid card highlighter and everything, I'm gonna be laughing all the time and I'm gonna be loving it. That's all.
Just be glad.
Quick behind the scenes.
Just be glad that when I do notes, I don't have the time to go through everything and write like a stupid sentence to start it all off with. Like, oh, Jey Uso calls out Chad Gable, but Chad Gable called out too many names and the Wyatt 6 came out, or some stupid things like that. Ah, man. But speaking of all those people that I just named, hey, tonight started with Jey Uso in the crowd, getting everybody hyped up, getting everybody yeeted out there, but Mr. No Yeet Chad Gable's like, nah, no, I'm not saying that word. And that summoned the Wyatt 6 to chase him off, but that, just the shot that they used, just the one shot of like Chad like backing up from everything and like every corner he went to, like there was this light shining. You could see the silhouettes. You could see our boys. You could see, our Huskus the Pig Boy. You could see our Mercy the Buzzard. Like, I loved it. I loved it a lot.
You gotta give a props to Chad Gable. I'm sorry, I have to give props to my boy Jey Uso, cause the way this man ran Once the lights turned out, this man, you did not see this man in the middle of the ring for not more than a second. He left that ring so. He booked it, right, Drop? Once he heard the lights drop, he said, I did my thing. I danced. I got the crowd hype. I'm leaving. You ain't going to catch me. I'm not going to get a God shot one. I'm not going to be healing like a miracle like this guy, Chad Gable. I'm a dip. That's what he did. Our boy Jey Uso literally saw the Wyatt family come out. He said, I'm good. You could have Chad Gable. You ain't having me. He did. I literally try to spot Chad. I try to spot Jay because I'm like, oh shit, are they gonna grab Jay this time instead because of Fireflies? No, Jay ran and nobody caught it. I literally saw him running on the side of the screen, going out slowly, and then I saw Chad. I'm like, oh shit, he got Chad. Jay literally ran dip. I just was crying on that. He literally heard it. He dipped. He ran. He said, I'm not having this shit. But I love Chad promo work when he told Jey Uso that they could come and get you too. You took the Fireflies. I love Jay's response, guys. Jay's response was like, yo, you could have the creatures. You could have the bugs.
You can have them.
You can have all of them. You can have the cockroaches. I don't want any. He literally said, you can deal with all of them. I don't want shit. I love that line of Jay. He is me. I don't want no bugs. I don't want no problems. I don't want no shade.
Oh man. Yeah, no, I'll take the mosquitoes. I'll take the cockroaches, all that stuff. Like, man. I loved him. I loved him just not being serious about the whole thing. But I also like too how like Chad's kind of planting some seeds for Jay to possibly reunite with the bloodline when the time comes. You know, not immediate. Like, and I keep saying that in like a lot of like group chats or friend discussions I'm with. I'm like, look. The whole bloodline thing with like Jay possibly like aligning with them again, or at least with like Roman and Jimmy, you need to be careful with the writing with that, because like Jay left abuse, his abusive cousin Roman and all that stuff. Like he left all of that, and like you don't just go back to that. Like you don't just go back to it unless you have something wrong, which that happens to a lot of people where they do go back to their abusers. But it's like they need to write it in a way that like just makes sense. Like make it make sense for Jay to align himself with Jimmy and Roman. Like Jimmy, I could see him more with like being like, all right, you know what, bro, you were protecting me from being a piece of shit like Solo is right now. So I could see Jay more reuniting with Jimmy a lot sooner than with Roman, because with Roman comes like a whole big suitcase of baggage.
With Chad, I love that with Chad. Even we saw the reflection of him talking to Otis. Mm-hmm. Otis saying like, "Nah, I ain't helping you." Maxine came in like, "Hey, everything going on?" Otis like, "Nah, all good." Like. Chad even said like, hey, if they come after you, if they come after Maxine, I will be there. So you telling me that if they come after me, you ain't coming for like, Otis like, nah. Mm-hmm. If you die, you die. That's what happens.
But yeah, so Wyatt 6 are here. They scared Chad Gable away, but good old Nikki Kross is here, and she has another videotape for us.
And they took down security guards, and then after that,
they did. After
the commercial break, I just love how they literally just said, "Yeah, we just threw them to the curb, and we just got a little nice type of monster reborn, and just rehealed some type of security guards, and just got new ones." I'm like, do you just got ready type of security guards in the backstage, just ready to replace?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're right there. Local talent and all that. Oh man, but yeah, we get another videotape of the Wyatt 6. We're still focusing on Bo, which that's fine and all that. But we didn't get a chance to talk about last week's tape, and we got this week's tape, which they were both somewhat similar in what they were talking about and what they were trying to get across. Basically, this whole thing of like, we were abandoned, you guys left us, and then, we're still here. Like, I really have to do like a big breakdown of this video and all that, because there's a lot going on with it. Like, just a lot of imagery from them being in the Firefly Funhouse for one thing, doing this interview, like going back and forth and all that. Like there was just a lot of like him mainly dealing with like family. Like that's the whole thing. Like these were people that needed a purpose, they needed a family, and they came together and became a family. So I don't know. How do we feel about this week's tape dealing with the Wyatt Six?
Well, I will say this. Drop, if you don't mind, I'm gonna speak first because we didn't get the chance to do a recording of last week Raw, so we didn't get to discuss, like you mentioned, Whawkins, last week recording. Bo Dallas, fucking amazing acting and work. The editing, I want to give props to the editing into the production work as well, showing the mayhem of the mindset of Bo Dallas and Uncle Howdy, knowing how the psychosis of the character of Uncle Howdy is to Bo Dallas and what it is Bo Dallas' mindset. When last week he said, like, what is it to be gone? The Bray Wyatt's passing. Like, I even felt crying during that 3-minute, 4-minute clip of a VHS. And you felt the sadness and the emotion from Bo Dallas because it's real emotion. Like, Bray Wyatt, the character, yes, passed away. But Bray Wyatt, the person, did pass away in real life. And just to know that Bo Dallas is using that as a story segment to push off the Wyatt Six and to explain why they've been gone, and using with this week VHS copy showing that what it is to be gone and what it is to know why they don't like to feel lost or feeling betrayed, that people have forgotten us, people have forgotten them, and they don't want to feel that way, and they're gonna make us remember. Like, I love that type of supernatural way, but it's all on the acting and it's all on the portrayal of the editing, and I love it very much. But I think you guys brought it up in our group chat. Hopefully starting next week it will change up to talk about the other members of the Wyatt Six now.
Yeah, I'd like to get just a little bit more of the other members and all that. So, Drop, do you have anything to comment on this Bo Dallas video we got?
I just like how they're breaking down his character, because one of the things that we all wanted to know jumping into this thing is the whole why. Like, why was the group formed and why are you heading down this direction, especially when from Bro's perspective. And we got those answers, and I'm really invested in the group. I'm hoping, because like a lot of it, because none of it's supernatural, it's just real shit where he's being like, everything that he's talking about is real. It's not just him putting things together, reading it from a script to tell a story. Like, a lot of it feels very genuine. So it's like, if you're sitting down talking to him yourself, like if we were talking to him right now, we would end up getting the exact same answers that he provided in that vignette that we've been seeing for the past 2 weeks. And I really like how they want us to take this faction seriously. And I like how they're giving a lot of attention to Bray, because he is the leader after all, so it makes sense why they're getting a lot of focus on him. And I'm hoping down the line, and if they don't do it, that's fine. But at the same time, I would love for them to get in depth with the other members of the group, only so we could learn from their perspective as to why they joined this group. Like, pretty much what we saw at Bo. Just do the same thing with the other people. Just do the same thing with the other members. Because definitely, like, especially when it comes to people like Nikki Cross, that was like underutilized, or Dexter Loomis, that was like underutilized in the company. It'd be really nice to see exactly why they would be put into this situation now, and why they wanted to follow the Wyatt Six when it comes to the beliefs and the sort of message that they're trying to deliver towards other people.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah,
makes a
'cause,
lot
like-
of sense
yeah,
why which makes a lot of sense why they targeted Chad Gable, because he's mistreating his
Mhm.
friends. He wouldn't. I think Jay. I think you're fine, because if they would go after anybody, and I saw what who said it in the chat. Oh, Vash's
it
fan.
was yeah.
Yeah, how you said the Wyatt Six should go after Solo. Like, Jay's fine. You didn't do nothing wrong. You did what was right for yourself. You didn't do anything bad towards your family. You pretty much stuck up to Roman when he was doing all that shit towards you. But looking at what Solo recently did, especially on Friday, I would understand it why the Wyatt Six would go after Solo, like you said in the chat. Seems like they have a very strong belief in family. Like, that's definitely a common theme within this group, is family. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see them targeting more than one people when it comes to that. Like, their victims are going to be centered around like their whole belief system, and if they see people that are not a part of that system and they're not really in the right place, like Chad Gable is, those are the people that they want to get those sins from.
Yeah, exactly. So, like kind of like what Vash was saying too. We're getting answers. Well, I guess you both kind of said this in a way. Like, we're getting answers from these videos and all that, which is great. We're starting to kind of see some motivation. We'll probably get some more, later on down the line. Like, I could definitely see Eric having maybe one of these kind of segments. Maybe Joe Gacy has something where like I could see him being like, I was inspired by Bray and all that. Maybe with Nikki Cross, you could do the whole thing about her feeling lost and all that, because like she went months with her just like walking in the background, just like staring off into space. And
I hope
Dexter
that comes
Lumis.
back. I hope that comes back to fix to tell something, because that would explain like why she was lost. It's like she couldn't find her home. Like, hopefully that is inside her video package. Like, she was lost in the void of staring within the camera, of staring within the darkness of the clubhouse, of seeing what wasn't or hasn't been there for too long. So hopefully that gets answered, because that would be really good for us to hear some type of story or some type of
You might be
meaning.
onto something that might actually. Yeah, you might be onto something that might actually factor into it, because we never got an explanation as to why she was doing that shit.
Yep.
So,
and then with Dexter Lumis,
think
he doesn't have to say anything. Like, Dexter Lumis could just
like the whole kidnapping thing he did.
I mean, well, see, that's the thing with like Dexter Lumis. It's just like he doesn't need to talk.
Yeah,
I don't think he ever spoke.
Good. He
I seen him
did when
talk
he got
before
married.
in different promotions, though.
Yeah. It's just that he barely spoke
So-
since he's been with Indy. And the last time we saw him is when he grabbed Indy from NXT when she got transferred, I think, to the main roster.
The main roster.
I think that's the last time we ever
It would
saw
be pretty
him.
cool it'd be pretty cool if this new character, if he did talk, though. That'd be interesting.
That'd be a twist that him
If he-
speaking now is because of his broken psychosis because of the Wyatt Six. I think that'd be an interesting twist.
Yeah.
If he does, what would be really cool, at least for me, is if he only speaks in one word, like one word phrases. Like, kind of like as like the exclamation point to like, okay, the Wyatt Six are coming to get you, and then it just pans over to Dexter Lumis and like his serious face, like massacre, or some emo kind of emotion or whatever. But yeah, so like again, we're getting So, anyways, so yeah, we're getting drop fed a lot of information about the Wyatt Six, which I am perfectly fine with. It sounds like you guys are cool with it too.
Hell yeah.
awesome, great.
I love the video
Moving on
package.
to another story that is. Yeah, exactly. The video package is good, but we're gonna move on to another story that is hopefully gonna be ending. Hopefully soon. Hopefully. We got this whole business with the New Day and
the
Karrion
best
Kross.
segment.
Yeah, which I thought. I thought at first it was Kofi Kingston against Xavier Woods, but I think my Twitter account got that wrong. It was actually Xavier Woods versus Karrion Kross.
When I was reading the document, doing my Stampede, you messed me up when I was reading the document because I said it during my Stampede. I was like, we have Kofi Kingston versus Karrion Kross, and I'm like, wait, I'm stuck here. I don't know where to go. All right, guys, I transition to the start of the show. I'm like, damn. I'm like, compute. I can't. I don't have a transition, so I got messed up there. But hey, guys, so that's behind the scenes as well for what happened to start the show. That's why you should always watch the beginning to the end of the show, because you can see all the F-ups and the mess-ups in the best way possible. But Karrion Kross, he came in with a W for the battle, but not the win.
Yeah. Yeah, because, I mean, Woods rolled him up, and that was it. So,
and then,
I mean, it was a fine match.
It was a good match.
Yeah.
It was entertaining. It was a solid 3 out of 5. It was average. It hit on all cylinders that it should be. Entertaining. It is what it is. Are we individuals here invested on the story? Well, that's a different segment. That's a different conversation, because am I invested? Is Vash invested to the story of Karrion Kross? Yes. Is he invested to the story of Karrion Kross with the New Day? Where is it going? Because we as the audience, as fans, we don't want the New Day to break up. We've been asking for Big E return, but that most likely might not happen because of health issues for Big E. Yeah. So then where does it lead up to? Because we don't want the New Day to betray each other. We don't want Xavier Woods to do that. That's something that we want this crew, this ragtag team that used to be a triple team, now is a duo. We don't want them to break up. So Karrion Kross, what's your end goal, aka for Triple H? What's your end goal here with the story or character? That's what I'm more invested in, that if it's gonna have a subpar ending, it reminds me what type of subpar ending was last year. I think it was Karrion Kross and AJ Styles. That was a subpar story as well.
I mean, that's just Karrion Kross on the main roster in a nutshell.
Yeah.
Like
the
guy.
I remember.
Oh yeah. Like
ever since the Drew stuff and Roman.
Oh god. Oh, that's right. That's when he came back too.
I was not there. I do not remember or recall of that.
So that was like when Triple H.
That's when he that's when he first. I think he got rehired.
Yeah, he got rehired. It was like a week or so after Triple H took back over when Vince stepped down. Karrion Kross just shows up from out of nowhere and it's like, oh, he's getting involved with Drew and Roman. All right, cool. That'll be great for him. It didn't really go anywhere else other than See, I think that's what they're playing around with the story right now.
Win over Drew. That's all that really happened.
Yeah, but because the whole thing with Karrion Kross is he'll have a feud with somebody, and then when he's done with them, they'll turn heel, or their real self will come out and all that. So that's basically the crux of this whole story is Karrion Kross trying to inject that bit of poison into the New Day, which has always been the source of positivity around WWE. So it's okay, how are we going to do this, and is this going to work? I think that's the biggest thing.
What you're telling me is what we've been asking as fans, but we're getting it in a toxic push type of way when it comes to Xavier Woods. Because what you're telling me is that even during the end of this segment, that we're kind of ain't about. But what I did like about it is that we had Xavier Woods helping Kofi Kingston after Karrion Kross almost broke his arm or his shoulder. I believe deltoid was the point of was the point of submission there.
Something. Yeah, it was something around this arm.
So
yeah, that's all I know.
Karrion Kross was like, "Are you gonna shake my hand now? Are you gonna shake my hand now?" And Xavier Woods, from what I recall, he still chose not to shake his hand out of respect still. And Karrion Kross kept telling him that Kofi Kingston is holding you back. So what you're telling me, Whawkins, that we're getting the far-reach goal of finally Xavier Woods getting his solo run as he deserved, maybe IC title run by the end of the year or next year, because I would love that, because he had the King of the Ring a couple years ago, but then we never continue that momentum. So if this is the possible way for Karrion Kross to push Xavier Woods on his own in a way, but still within the New Day, but on his own type of route, I'm all for it.
So it's really more of like bringing out like a negative aspect of somebody. So I mean, in more wrestling terms, it's just like turning a babyface heel, because like he had the feud with Drew, and then after that Drew started kind of acting a little more heelish. Same thing happened with Nakamura, AJ Styles shortly after that, and I believe there were a couple others, but they're not like, those were the main three basically. So like Karrion's trying to like inject that into the New Day, because again, like, they are the biggest form of positive energy in the WWE. But like, man, I'm so glad I wasn't the only one, because I went on Twitter after this segment, and I'm so glad I wasn't the only one that legitimately thought we were going to get a Big E return. It's just like, okay, is Big E coming back? Is that where we're leading towards? Oh wait, no, Kofi's going to have his arm broken. Oh, where's Big E when you need him? Come on, Big E, get a new neck. You're fine, buddy. You can do it.
You said, boy, get a new neck.
Dude, yeah, just get a rubber neck.
Yeah, just go to the black market. Just go get a whole new neck.
Look, just go eat the gum fruit. You'll become a rubber man, and you'll be fine. You know?
But overall, entertaining fight. AOP continue being told in commentary that they're an unstoppable work of machine monster or something like that, between those lines that Corey Graves said. It's really curious to see what's the fallout of AOP down the line, that if they're going to continue being a heel faction for the future, and if they're going to continue being a success, because they've been very rocky with the strength or with the type of booking they've been having, going to NXT, you know, showing a little mix and match.
Who knows? We will see when we find out. But yeah, I mean, that's basically all I've got for this little match here, because we have Sami Zayn. He's got to come out here. He's got to be the ultimate babyface, and he vows to beat Bron Breakker on Saturday and retain his IC title. But Bron has words for him, doesn't he, Drop?
Words and a spear. Not just one spear, 2 spears.
Yeah, he says right here that he says, I gained some respect for you for being a man and finding me to challenge me. But he also said, you have no idea what you're in for. Which is true, because we've seen what Bron Breakker is capable of. Whoever you put in front of him, it's kind of like a bull with like that red flag. As soon as the bull sees the red flag, it starts charging after it. That's Bron Breakker with everybody that he's in the ring.
And plus,
he just destroys them, and he just rips them into. Yeah, and he just rips them into pieces. And I'm honestly like really curious to see like how this match is gonna be on Saturday. Yeah. I can't say it is kind of unpredictable.
It kind of is in a way.
Chat, I'm gonna tell you right now, my choice is Sami Zayn. He's gonna be winning out on top. He's gonna be the winner. He's gonna be coming on top from not one spear, not two. My guess is by the end of that match, he'll be going to 3 to 5 spears. by Braun Breaker
Mm-hmm.
by the end of that match, and Sami Zayn will still come on top. He went against Gunther. He's gonna show that Braun Breaker is not unbeatable, it's not unstoppable, that he could be stopped, and Sami Zayn is the one to stop him. Not saying that Braun Breaker is too early to give him a title. In NXT, people need to remember that back in the day when we had our new wrestlers, there were new wrestlers in pro wrestling within the company. But these wrestlers that come from NXT, they've been on the face. They've been on the face of this start type of development brand of NXT. But it's been years already. They hold on their own. Braun Breaker has been a champion for 365 days as the face of NXT before. So he has what it is. He could hold the IC title. I believe in him. But my bet is for Sami Zayn. That's my money on him.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it's because that's the thing. It's very unpredictable. Because like, and I'm glad, Drop, you made the comparison of Braun Breaker being like a bull, like
Mm-hmm.
with the bullfight and all that. Because like literally, what popped in my head when you said that was the Bugs Bunny cartoons where he was a
Yeah.
a matador. And
Yeah.
I'm just thinking to myself, oh my god, that is actually perfect for this feud right here, because like Braun Breaker, like the thing with Braun Breaker, and I think this is the story that they're gonna tell. Because my
How do you think
my
about
early
Bugs Bunny kind of reminds me of Sami Zayn?
see you see the vision.
Yeah.
Good, you're on the same wavelength, but okay, because I could see a story being told here, because it was told tonight, where it's like, okay, Braun is powerful. He is very powerful. He is very fast. He is like the epitome of like strength and speed and like everything physical. But the mind ain't there yet. It's not quite there yet. And you could tell a really good story where it's like Sami could win here, because like we saw tonight, like Braun tried to do his little overhead, I'm calling it the overhead spear, when he's like outside of the ring and he just goes around the ring and spears them on the other side of the ring.
Mm-hmm.
But they do the overhead camera shot with that. So
Okay.
Braun tries to do that overhead spear, and Sami jumped over him, and like Braun went straight into the steps right there. It's like, okay, we see that Sami is, we already knew that Sami was super smart in the ring, but like now we're seeing it, and that's the story right there. It's like, okay, Braun can fall to this. He could fall to smarts, because like, Sami did fight back a bit, but you can build it back up to where it's like, okay, now Braun can start building up that intelligence stat of his. He can start, grinding a little bit, putting his XP points into intelligence. So like, instead of being at like the 3, he could now be at like the 8. And imagine a Braun Breaker at an 8, like an 8 out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's gonna be some scary stuff, and he could still beat Sami, and I mean he could still beat Sami this weekend too. We can go back to the original thing about him just squashing Sami and destroying him and all that. But like, I don't know, man. That this segment tonight made me kind of think a little bit, especially with like trying to book a story around Braun Breaker and all that.
I really like what they did with it so far with Braun Breaker. Like, they have potential with Braun Breaker. They're showing what it is. We finally had a mic promo 2 minutes, 3 minutes with him. So I love what it is to show Braun Breaker. He has a skill set. He is a next generation. So showing that to be the case. And yes, Dino Man, I get what you're saying. The main roster is a different from NXT. But Braun Breaker could still hold the IC title if he wins this Saturday. I believe that if he wins against Sami Zayn, I will not be upset, because Braun Breaker could hold that title and represent the IC title, and he will put amazing matches. We just haven't had him the opportunity to show his promo work. We have seen him having a promo work on NXT for a crowd that's like 300, 500 people in the crowd. but now he's doing a promo work times 5 of that across cities and states. So to see that, I love it that Bron is getting this opportunity, and also to get the opportunity to work with Sami Zayn. That's another great chance, because with Sami Zayn, he's already loved by the fans, seen by many people across the world who wants to see more of him, and to shoot one-on-one with Bron Breakker would be a perfect opportunity to show the type of skill sets that Bron Breakker got, not just other than Beast, but also in his acrobatics and his athleticism. Because if people have not seen this man, to be moving in his type of big bulk status is unbelievable. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah. Drop. What is that? What is that you had in your hand?
Oh, it's a coaster.
Oh,
a coaster.
Oh, I like that coaster. I like it a lot. Oh man, but like, okay, since I have you now here, Drop. Bron Breakker. You know, he did a lot of good things right in this segment, but he made one mistake at the end.
He held up the belt.
He had to grab that damn title and be like, "Look at me, I'm gonna be IC champion." It's like, no, you don't do that. That's like going up to a person like on Broadway, like a Broadway singer or whatever. That's like going up to them before the show opens and saying, "Hey, good luck." It's like, no, you don't say good luck before a show. Why would you do that? You say break a leg. Yeah, like, no. So you don't do that in front of, like, before like a theater show or whatever, and you don't hold up a title until you win it. Like, it's bad luck. It's bad juju. And the fact that Bron did that, I'm like, no, don't. Yeah. You're gonna lose now.
It's almost like if they spoil you who's gonna win when they do that.
Yeah. So
like, you even saw how Seth got dropped tonight, so that's sort of telling you Seth's gonna win on Saturday.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought he was gonna. I mean, at first I thought Damian was gonna win, but once he added that stipulation, that's when I was convinced that Seth was gonna win. So, going along with holding up the title, would I be against him winning? No. But, with what he did right there, I think it's probably gonna be probably more than one match between the two of them.
Yeah. And, well, I mean, we could get the second match at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
It could be maybe in Berlin, you know, sometime throughout this year. Because I do, like I did see some reports, like, a couple weeks ago saying that, the company want to put, like, Bron as, like, one of the poster people for when Raw moves to Netflix at the beginning of the year. So it's like, okay, well...
a smart investment.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's smart. So... yeah, we'll have to wait and see with that, but like, I'm kind of in the same boat as you guys. It's just like, you know, would I pop if he got the title now? Hey, yeah, hell yeah, I would. I love Bron Breakker, but I don't necessarily think he needs it yet. Like, now, you know, now I'm sitting here kind of thinking about it. I'm like, okay, he doesn't really need it. It would be cool, but he'll be fine without it for a little bit.
Because the way I look at it, you could like build them up where you could have them have this feud with Sami for a little bit, or maybe someone else gets in his way, maybe like Kaiser, because I don't think things are done between him and Kaiser by a long shot.
No,
with what happened.
We
so
did
it's
get,
like you're
we
gonna
did
have
get a
these
good package of him as well, but we didn't see him.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's like you could always have him have this match with Sami, but then he's in the back of the line again. He's going to have to go through all these different kinds of people and then build himself up again and then eventually get another shot at that title. I could definitely see that.
Yeah. So, but we'll see that later down the line. But hey, speaking of later on down the line, that was basically Raw. You know, we got through it. pretty fairly, pretty neatly, but you know what? At least this Raw, at least for me, didn't drag a lot. There were some, booking decisions. I'm like, maybe we could have done something a little bit different here. Mainly with Dakota Kai, maybe she should have gone on to the ladder match, but that's neither here nor there. But like all the stuff with the Judgment Day, a lot of seeds being planted, a lot of stuff with the, again with the Money in the Bank ladder matches. I'm excited for them. There's a lot of unpredictability that go with them, and a lot of people that you can see win it. And this is, I think I said this on Friday too, like wrestling's at its best when it's unpredictable like this. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not so certain on a lot of things. So
You're just looking at the matches that we have, like men's Money in the Bank match, that's unpredictable. Women's Money in the Bank match, that's unpredictable. Damian Priest versus Seth Rollins, that's unpredictable. Sami Zayn versus Bron Breakker, that's unpredictable. The Bloodline match, I'm gonna say Bloodline is gonna win that. I'm gonna say I don't think that's predictable. I think Bloodline is gonna win that. I think that's by KO. He might eat another pinfall.
Yeah, as long as Cody doesn't eat the pin.
I hope they don't. Yeah, because I don't want them to do one of those things. Just like, okay, Solo pins Cody, so that means that's how we're gonna build up that match between him and Solo at SummerSlam. Like, no, you don't need. There's different ways to do that. You can easily beat them in a match like this, and you can just get under Cody's skin like AJ did. You can get a match out of that. I mean, he already is under Cody's skin, so you can easily get a match like that. You don't need to pin him or do anything like that.
No, you don't. And I mean, I don't want to see Solo and Cody, but I mean, that's probably going to end up happening anyway. So,
Hey, you
fine,
know what?
whatever.
That's a different conversation after next week, Money in the Bank. This coming Monday, conversation we can have about that, because that's when they'll start leading up to. No, actually next week Friday, because that's when it leads up to for the SmackDown show. However, Raw, I agree. Some moments could have been better. A bit staggering, but great video packages, because my girl actually watched Raw with me most of the night, so she was very intrigued in the video packages. It helps her. She even asked, wait, is is that Kaiser? She's like, yeah, remember that's the guy from Imperium, how they used to be, a group of 3, now it's a group of 2. So it was a good type of video packages of segments. I love the Wyatt 6. I get excited to know more about the Wyatt 6 and to see what gets unfolded. So it's a very thrilling moment about that. So Jey Uso opening Monday Night Raw was pretty unexpected. I didn't expect that, not in a bad way, but more like, are they leading him up to be the one to win the Yeet Money in the Bank type of briefcase is what I'm curious to see. And what I love about the segment, Seth freaking Rollins, just see him come out. Even my girl asking like, how is he? I'm like, he came back after 2 months. No lie, I thought he was gonna be gone much longer. But hey, if he could heal back in 2 months, take his time, take his break, it is what it is.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so before we head out, Vash, why don't you tell all the lovely people out there who are either live with us in the chat or watching the VOD if they made it this far, let them know just exactly where they can go if they ever want to, talk to us or check out any other content we have. Like, where can they find all those lovely places that we're at?
So chat, if you're hearing me, if you're hearing the VOD and you're watching the stream on the Twitch side / YouTube side, twitch.tv/AnimeWeeb Studio, or on the YouTube side, the stream side, we appreciate using hashtag Weebs of the Ring all the time. Down below, you see in the description, and you see on the screen itself at Legendary Vash, at DropThisBox, at Whawkins MW, and the hashtag Weebs of the Ring is everywhere you can find us. Like the fans, Oblivion, and also Vash's fan did cop me on the SmackDown event at MSG. I will always try my best to go to any of the wrestling events in the Tri-State area. So if you catch me don't be shy. Don't be embarrassed. I will not bite. I will love to have a conversation with you, take pictures. I have no problems. The same thing, like the team itself. You can find us on all the description down below, or where all the links are for all their personal channels, and where you can find them on their own type of social links. The Discord link will be active very soon for us to have more wrestling conversation, like tomorrow's NXT. This past Sunday, 24 hours ago or less, they had a 5-hour pay-per-view of some company called AEW. So things are cooking up. Things were great. Things were happening. Things got slapped. Things got kissed. Many things going on down there. But tune in, join the conversation. Let us know what you guys think. Other than that, back to you, Whawkins.
Oh yes, but yeah, so do exactly what Vash said. Check out all those links. All of those will be in the description below. And I don't know about y'all, but it's getting pretty late. My mind's getting a little tired, getting a little yawny up there in my head. So, I'm just gonna hit the outro and let all these people know that we do want to thank you for taking the time out of your day to check out and listen to the Weebs of the Ring podcast. If you enjoyed what we had to say, why not do exactly what Vash just told you? We are known as Animal We Studio on all social media platforms. Just remember, that's we with a 3. And also use the hashtag Weebs of the Ring to interact with us about anything regarding wrestling before, during, or after our shows. Feedback is always appreciated, as we are nothing without you tuning in. Weaves of the Ring is presented by Anima We Studio, thanks to our production team of Vash, Whawkins, DropThisBox, Rome, and Jokester, as well as special thanks to JB and Abe. Thank you once again for everybody for joining us, and remember, no stunt grannies were harmed in the recording of this podcast. Have a good night, everybody.
We see you next Friday.
See you on Friday, guys.
No. Yes.